Greetings and welcome, my friends. We bring you a synthesizer deck unlike anything we've done before. Not only are we in 3 colors this time out, but we have a 2-pronged attack that can end the opponent. If they get distracted by our robot overlords, we can hit them with our Ghost Rider combo that makes us immune to damages. We've got a lineup similar to our other synthesizer lists, so we're prepared to fight the opponent as any deck fielding factories would. Let's get the shell in there. We're playing the full set of authority of the Consuls, the 1 mana enchantment that gives us a life every time an enemy enters play. The real bonus is their men enter tapped, which makes blocking for them a little bit harder. And enemies with haste are pretty much nullified. They might as well be regular guys who have to wait until their next turn before they can swing in. 3 steps ahead is a staple. It's a card you always want to have when playing a synthesizer deck, and here we're ready to take advantage of all 3 modes. They're all useful, but once again, we're really looking to take advantage of the copy mode to make an instant synthesizer or copy any one of our other artifacts. Cryogenic Relic is an outstanding 2-drop, which gives us card draw when it enters and when it leaves play. It's a great card that can help us out of shuffler specials, and we can use it to slow down an enemy. Perilous Snare is our targeted removal this time out. When it enters play, we get to exile one of the opponent's permanents. While we're usually taking out men, we can use it to snag other dangerous cards the opponent has played out. Once we hit max Verstappen speed, we can add stat-boosting counters to our men. While our robot overlords don't really need them, Ghost Rider can be a bigger threat with every counter we add on. His skull is on fire and he's very ready to dish out pain to everyone. Split Up is a board wipe that works incredibly well with the authority because their men will enter tapped, opponents need to commit more to the board than usual, and this does a great job of clearing out their reinforcements. And what's great is that we can use it, so it affects only the opponent. And Ghost Rider will laugh this off. It probably doesn't even tickle. Aetherize is a great substitution if you prefer sending their men back to their hand. And with an authority on board, there will be more life gain once they replay their men. Repurposing Bay is a great artifact that can help us turn artifacts we can afford to lose into artifacts we want to have in play. It's a great way to get our key cards in play and for a cheap 2 mana. The Synthesizer is our key card. We want to get a copy or 2 on board and start generating robot overlords by the squad. When it enters, it does give us a scry 2, which is amazing at helping us find additional cards to trigger the factory and get it to spit out more of our AI men. Making a token copy of it is a great way to build up our board fast, and especially if we have a Helm at the ready. The Helm is a fantastic partner to our factory outlets. It generates map tokens along with the tokens we normally would get, which help boost the stats of our robot overlords. And for 2 mana, we can use it to copy any token artifact we have in play. The dream is to make a token synthesizer and then use the Helm to make a pile of factories with an ever-growing number of robot overlords being generated with every copy we make. Bender's Waterskin is a mana artifact that will untap during the opponent's untap step. This gives us a little bit extra mana to play with on the opponent's turn. Mana we can use to activate the Helm or have available for the counterspell option of our 3 steps ahead. Chosen by Lord Voldemort is an aura that turns one of our men into a scapegoat. While we can choose a robot overlord, we want to hand this weapon to Ghost Rider. Once our combo is active, we will no longer take damages from any source, and instead, Ghost Rider will take the pain. And he loves getting hit. Even if we have to use it on one of our AI men, it will work as a fog effect with our robot overlord taking the damages for us, even if only for a turn. Ghost Rider is a monster in disguise as a small guy. While he might only be a 1/1, he becomes suspect when he enters play, which means the opponent will need to block him with 2 or more men. And while he won't be able to block, we're not looking to do so with the guy with the flaming skull. When he hits the opponent, we lose a point of life, but we get to draw a card. And of course, when he takes any damages, the pain gets redirected to the opponent's face. This is why Lord Voldemort will be choosing Ghost Rider more often than not. For lands, we're playing 4 Watery Grave, the Dimir Shock land, 4 Gloomlake Verge, the island that becomes a dual when we have an island or swamp in play. 4. Hallowed Fountain, the Azorius Shockland. 4. Floodfarm Verge, the plains that becomes a dual when we have a plains or island in play. 3. Swamp, 2 island, and 3 plains. Playing the deck is rather straightforward, as most synthesizer decks tend to be. This time around, we're not just playing factories, we have Ghost Rider to help take down the opponent's life total once he's been chosen. Even if the opponent is able to deal with one strategy, we have the other to fall back on. A lot of opponents are playing cards that can't deal with Ghost Rider all that well, and we can always keep a counter up if they try to destroy the Chosen by Lord Voldemort. Whichever option comes up, use it. A Repurposing Bay can easily be used to dig up Ghost Rider and go that route if it feels like the opponent won't be able to stop an enchanted Spirit of Vengeance. That's the deck, boys. Let's go play some games.
Do you want to play a game?
This is Moses. He had 15 commandments but dropped one of the tablets, so we got only 10. We're kicking things off with a 3-lander with an excellent mix of cards. This is perfect. Keep your pants on. With this video, we're doing something a little different. We're showing you some of our test games, and you'll get to see the deck as it evolves into the deck we went through at the start of the video. There won't be many differences. There were only 3 slots we played around with. If you enjoy this new approach, please let us know in the comments. And if you don't like it, let us know that too. We take the good with the bad. They play out a voice of victory. It's the small men team, and we're going to want to hurry up and get some robot overlords to combat their growing team. We draw a 4th land, which is going to let us play out our other 2 cards. On top, we have a relic and an authority. I do like the relic, but double authority should be good enough. They send it, and while normally this would be a pile of damages, with double authority we're looking at laughing all the way to the bank. Our pants are on, bro. They try to turtle sneak us, but that's like throwing it in reverse. This is not a pain train, it's a laugh train. We draw our relic and we're passing the turn. We'll go with an instant synthesizer. There's just one problem. The voice will stop us from doing anything during their turn. We get to eat a free round of damages. As it stands now, we'll take a whole 1 point. Fortunately for us, this blunder won't cause us much harm. They add an innocence to their board. It's card draw, plus a lifelink body once it untaps. They decide not to send the voice, it just generates life for us anyways. We draw a snare, and we'll play it out. We'll get our first robot overlord, and we can snipe their voice. Instead of a voice, it's going to be crying in a cage. They drop in a Toby, he'll generate a big beastie token, but in the meantime, 2 men, for them, means more life for us. They send in their flying tokens. Sure, we can't block, but we just gained 4 life, and they're only doing 3. The time has come to return fire. A case could be made to keep a defensive stance here and not send our only blocker to do battle with the enemy. But even if they double block, we can grow our robot overlord at instant speed. Let's get the shell in there. They send the whole team. Now is when we hit them with a surprise synthesizer. Making a copy of the snare would also be a solid move, but double factories will double the production of our robot overlords. On top, we have another factory and a 3 steps ahead. A triple factory board is going to wreck face. Let's keep them, and in that order. We'll throw a block on the old Toby. He looks like he wants to tangle with a robot overlord. It's a mistake, Toby. You're going to be turned into paste. They go with their sneak play once again. That's going to gain us 6 life before we even take any hits. They can't seem to drop us below 20 life. This turn we get to board the opponent on the real pain train. We'll throw down our 3rd factory and get to smashing face. They have seen enough ladies and shark men, they poop it and scoop it. That's GG's, extra cheese. This is paradise, DX style, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching at home. We get a 3-lander with the endless removal combo in hand. We copy the snare and make endless snare tokens with the helm. I like it. Keep your pants on. We'll take the 2 points from our land. It's worth it in case we draw a relic. They drop in an Is-It land. Guess what our opponent is playing? We draw a terror, and that's a great copy target as well. For now, we'll just see what the opponent plays out. We draw a relic a turn late, but that's fine. We can try to get it on board. Let's see if they've got a quench. They've got a Spell Pierce instead. That works just as well. I don't know what we're going to do without our relic. They drop in their Gran. That's what these guys bring to the fight. An old lady. They follow up with an Artist's Talent. That's 2 of the big 3 permanents they have already on board. It's time for our snare to get in there. We'll take their Gran and her old lady clothes and shove her in the cage. They level up their talent. Now all they have to do is start firing off cards. We draw a 2nd snare and we'll use it to take their talent. We've cleared their board as easily as they set it up. They drop in a 2nd talent. That's all good. All we need is a 4th land and we can start replicating our snares. No 4th land yet, but we do have the 2nd part of the equation, a helm. They level up their talent. That's pretty much all they can do with just 1 mana left. We draw a 4th land finally. We'll go ahead and copy a snare right away. From here on out, we can copy our token snare and swipe their permanents. Their whole deck is useless without their stuff. And that's GG's token snare cheese. This is Pearbat. He got a couple letters mixed up, but we know what he meant. We get a shuffler special with a couple of our heavier cards. We're 1 land away from this working, although I don't feel like risking. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with our endless removal combo in hand. We are missing white, but nearly half our lands are able to produce white mana. Keep. We'll send the helm on down. Sometimes you gotta play it by how you feel, and in this case I think our white cards might come out on top. They kept their 2-lander and now they got themselves stuck. I knew we couldn't keep that opening hand. Thanks to their slow opening and our mana artifact, we can play out our authority. They play out a Weaver. They just needed the right color to be able to make their play. We draw another Waterskin, and we can play it out with enough mana for a snare. But the question is, do we really want to snare their Weaver, or do we want to snare what follows? It is possible they may not have many plays if we take their mana guy. Let's do it. They hit our snare with a destruction spell, which could have been used on a factory. That was a critical card they tossed out to get their Weaver back. We have to snare their Weaver again. If it's important enough that they're tossing destruction at our artifact removals, then it's worth doing. They play out a second Weaver, and this time we don't have a snare to cage it. We're going to get to see what they can do with that extra mana. We draw a factory, and it's time to set up shop. On top, we have a 3 steps ahead in Ghost Rider. The Spirit of Vengeance will be making his presence felt, and we even have a Chosen by Voldemort. We will test their might. They go Bronkers with a Tapeworm. If they don't have any way to deal with our enchantments, they will find the going very tough. And if you think the tough get going, they can also start crying too. They even follow up with a Pollinator. The more the merrier. It's time for Ghost Rider to get in there. There will be no taking of names, only the swift application of pain. They play out a Mockingbird, they're going to copy their Tapeworm. I will bet Monopoly money on it. They send it and will throw a block. Let's not go all the way down to 1. Ghost Rider gets chosen this turn and he'll ride in for pain. That's going to be GG's, extra pain cheese. We're serving up grilled cheese and knuckle sandwiches all day. We draw a split up thanks to Ghost Rider. At this point, the sweeper was a rather new include. Thanks to the Waterskin's untapping, we have the mana we need to counter or make an instant copy of one of our artifacts. They play out a Terra Symbiosis. That's nice. It does nothing, really. They can have it. They send it, they've got no idea what we have on board. That's GG's. Ghost Rider cheese. Smell you later, bro. They hit themselves for 108 damages, lol. This is Jadecast, cast into the fire maybe, or Broken Bone cast. Maybe that's it. We get a 3-lander with double helm and a snare. That's not much action is what I'm saying. Mull. Then we get a 3-lander with some of our key cards. I like it. Unfortunately, I think Ghost Rider has to be the one to go on down. He might be down, but he's not out. Landfall has arrived once again on the big show. We've got a slow hand, so we're looking at taking some hits before we can settle them down. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh, Lord. They commune with beavers and get themselves another forest. They double down on golden turkeys, and of course they save their fat sack land just for this moment. Now they get to play the forest they have in hand and fat sack their other land for double the pump. Even a blind man could have seen that coming. A blind woman, too. Or a blind child. For some reason they chose not to fat sack their land. They must have something else in hand. Am I right, or am I right? Let it be written that we drew our first black mana on turn 3. Let's synthesize. They've been slow rolling their damages, which works to our advantage. We've been given the chance to set up shop. On top, we have a Chosen by Voldemort and a 3 steps ahead. While we don't have a Ghost Rider, the Chosen can be put on a robot overlord and can work as a fog for a turn. I was expecting a Hydra, but that's a bill they've been saving up for. Now they start fat-sacking their lands for that precious pump they should have been in a hurry to use instead of slow rolling it. We've only taken 3 damage up to this point. We'll hit one of their golden turkeys with a snare. That will get us our first robot overlord, and we can block up their other turkey when they send it. It's time to try to get in this game. They play out a Tifa. It's all their signature men wanting to be on the big show. They follow up with an ordeal and play it on their bill. If that's what floats your boat, they send it, and we have to block the golden turkey. We have no choice. This is a critical turn for us. We can play out the Waterskin, then follow up with the Helm for a pair of robot overlords, or we can copy the Snare, take out one of their men, and generate 1 robot overlord for the remaining pair of men they have. I am leaning towards the Snare copy. If we get another turn after this, we can play the Helm and activate it right away. We can start sniping their men while building up a team of AI men. They drop in a traveling golden turkey, but no land yet. They send their plump bird at us and we'll block up. We are at the point where we can't let anything through. We draw a second factory, which is nice, but this turn we have to go with the Helm to have any chance. We'll get a robot overlord, then we can copy the token Snare and get a second AI for just 2 mana. Out of the men they have, I think we'll take the one that can give them an extra advantage by playing cards off the top of their deck. Now we have 2 blockers to their 2 men, and they have to keep playing men out or start losing this arms race. They came to the big show armed with only turkeys for men, and now they pay the price. That does give them some pump, but it's not quite enough. We'll play out our second factory, and now we'll go up 2 robot overlords with every one of their men we snare. The tide is shifted, we've turned the tables, and they're going to become just another victim. They poop it and scoop it right when their life was in the most danger. Brave, very brave. That's GG's, extra robot overlord cheese. This is You Are Maw. Your Maw. We're about to whoop your maw. We draw a rather freakish 3-lander for this one. I mean, we are going to wreck their men, I suppose. Keep your pants on. We'll go with the Relic, as that gives us the chance to draw a non-shock land to be able to play out the factory we drew. Let's avoid damages if we can. And if we can't, we'll hit ourselves to make sure the synthesizer lands on schedule. Are they on Gruul dinosaurs? That was like years ago now. Bro came out with the old school standard cards. On top, we have a 3 steps ahead and a land. We'll send the land on down. We have the 4th land to make a surprise synthesizer already. They go with a Regal Imperiosaur. It's the king of lizards. We might be taking a hit here. While we could play out the second factory, we looking at them possibly being well ahead on board. Let's clear out their men and eliminate the threats they currently have. On a side note, have you seen a dino soil itself? Those ones just did. They play out their commander. Dinosaurs in the Age of Turtles. We'll throw down our second factory. It's not a surprise, but it will generate our first robot overlord, and we'll be able to strike back, like the Empire. On top, we have a Waterskin and an Authority. The Authority is nice, but we have one already. They send it, and those are some real damages. But they have to play men out if they hope to be able to throw blocks while trying to throw a beating. If they want to win this one, they've got to commit to the board. And that's where our split up can really hurt them. We draw our Waterskin, and we can play it out and have mana for our split up. This is where we turn the tables. Right under their dino noses, we'll rearrange the furniture. Fire in the Triceratops hole. They can't handle the truth. They poop it and scoop it and get the smell out of town. That's GG's, extra cheese, and that, my friends, is another satisfied customer.